This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from the Salvation Army. I have Kevin and Amy Cedarval. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I know I don't have to ask you if you're kind of busy this time of year as we're approaching Thanksgiving. Things are crazy because I know you want to provide wonderful meals for Thanksgiving dinner for families that may not have them. Plus you're rolling into this Christmas season. I know this is when you make most of the money for your entire year is this time of year.
It is. We do all of our Christmas assistance plus 25% of our year-long budget is earned during our our Christmas campaign for fundraising. So it's very important for us. We want to make sure that everybody who needs one gets a Christmas dinner, and that we get toys for all the kids who are in need. And it does get a little chaotic and crazy with everything that's going on, but it's well worth it.
Now, Kevin, as we're taping this today, how are we doing with our deadlines for people getting their name in to receive assistance?
Well, we've done our main assistance registration, but we're looking at a late sign-up this year just to give a couple more people an opportunity to sign up who have missed the week-long period that we had for the registration. So we did pretty well. We're very happy with the numbers, but we think we've had a lot of phone calls saying, I missed it or I just found out about it, so we're going to probably plan that in the beginning of December.
You know, my motto in life is there by the grace of God go I. So you never know how people's situations change from day to day. Illness, loss of a job, location, all different kinds of things can happen to people. So now for Thanksgiving, how do you handle that, Amy? What do people get for Thanksgiving?
We don't do Thanksgiving.
You don't do Thanksgiving? Just the normal come there if you need help and assistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't. The vets do a Thanksgiving meal.
Okay.
And so rather than duplicate services, we let them do Thanksgiving and we take care of the Christmas meal.
Okay.
We also, even if we don't do the late signups, which we're looking at doing at the 2nd and 3rd of December, but we always take case-by-case basis.
Okay.
If somebody had an unexpected event in the family, something where they didn't expect to be in need and now they are, we will always, if they call and let us know what the situation is, of course, we take those case by case.
Okay. And Kevin, there's lots of ways for people to help from now until the end of the year, or year-round, actually. But right now is when we try to get everybody out there to help us. So what are some ways people can help?
Well, one of our biggest things is food handling.
Okay.
Throughout the Christmas season, we do get a lot of food donations. That is huge for our Christmas effort, but also that is whatever's left is incorporated into our daily emergency food pantry. That's one of our biggest areas that we use volunteers regularly and just to keep the food pantry stocked. And we call them shopping buddies, people who go in and help the people go and actually go through the food pantry and get the items that fit their family. We often say it doesn't help us to give somebody 4 cans of green beans if nobody in the house likes green beans.
And I do like that because having volunteered in your pantry before, I like that when you have a bag all packed and you hand it to them, you may be things that they're not going to use at all, so I like that it's tailored to what they eat in their family.
Well, and what we're trying to do is to help people have as much dignity as possible as well. And there's a little more dignity in going in and shopping. Maybe you're not shopping at Meijer or Neiman's and Walmart, but you're going in and you're shopping for items for your family. It's the same reason we're looking at changing up the way we're doing our toy distribution this year.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have a toy shop where we're doing a lot more toy drives, and when we put the tags on the trees, they're going to be representative of things that children are asking for, but it's not necessarily a specific child. Those things are going to come in, and then the parents can come in and actually shop for the items that their children are asking for or want or need. And again, it's to give them that dignity of that ability to shop and be participant in getting those gifts for their child. We do have the Adopt-A-Family for people who just really want to shop for that one child. They can call the office and we can adopt a family of any size for any budget, and we can do it that way. And then there's also some things. There's always kids that ask for very specific things, and when we get those, we pull them aside and just make sure that child gets those things. But because we want the best for everybody.
Sure.
But when somebody puts it, their kids love Monster High or they love Barbie or whatever it is, they might have something in that category, and we don't know for sure everything they have, and it doesn't help to give a duplicate. And it also gives the parents that opportunity to shop. Again, maybe they can't go and shop at the store, but they can shop at our toy shop. So.
Okay. And Kevin, I know we'll be seeing the red kettles for the kettle campaign out there very soon.
Very soon. They start Friday, which is going to be our big kickoff at Neiman's again.
Okay.
We're going to have our mobile canteen out there serving out coffee and hot chocolate.
Perfect.
We're actually we made the mistake last year of not having the little man at Neiman's.
Okay.
Tim will be there. And
Yeah.
last year we brought our advisory board and had them ring for a little bit of time, and we had people all kind of upset thinking we were gotten rid of Tim. So
Yeah, he opens
will
the
be
door,
back.
he greets every person, we've got to have him.
Yeah, so we're starting that this Friday,
Okay.
and it'll be a little bit of a limited start. We have certain locations that we through corporate policies we only get them like after Thanksgiving, but we're going to definitely be out there starting to ring.
Well, we're getting close to being out of time, so I want to make sure that we let everyone know if you're a church group, a youth group, a civic group, any organization in town, call the Salvation Army. Pick a day, go pick a spot and ring the bell. It is so much fun.
It is.
Greeting your friends and greeting your neighbors, and do a competition amongst yourself to see who can raise the most money. And you know that the money stays here in our town, and it
Absolutely.
helps your friends, your neighbor, your family members, all the people in our community that really need help. And I know you have paid volunteers or paid bell ringers too, but the fewer people that we have to pay, the more money we have to pump right back into
Absolutely.
food and toys and other things. And the other assistance that you give throughout the year, Amy, give me an idea of some of the other things.
Rental assistance is our biggest.
Okay.
We did 260,000, or sorry, utilities. I'm sorry, utility assistance. Last year we did 265, I think, thousand.
Wow.
In Alpena County alone, just for utility assistance. And then we have our food pantry, and we also have
Incidental help
Yeah.
with like prescriptions and,
Okay.
and other things that are a little harder to find a group that can do that. We actually have some churches that have helped us set up a fund to do
Oh,
those.
perfect.
With.
It's
we're
on
a little low
once
on
again,
funding right now,
on a
but
case-by-case basis.
Exactly.
always.
Exactly.
All right, give me a phone number where people can contact you for more information.
It's 358-2769.
And Amy, once again, the dates of the late sign-up that you're planning to have.
I think we're going to end up doing it December 2nd and 3rd.
Okay. I want to thank both of you very much for being here, and thank you so much for the time and energy that you put into our community, making it a better place and doing the most good.
Thank you.
Thank
Nancy.
you. I'll be right back with some information from Besser Museum following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last two guests today are both from Besser Museum. I have Michael Blewett and Kat Tomaszewski. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Thanks, Nancy.
Kat, I'm going to start with you because I know when we get to November, I know you work on it year-round, but we're talking about Season of Light.
Yes, this is such an exciting time of year. We are launching our Season of Light exhibit. It always kicks off with a big reception, and that's November 21st
Okay.
from 6 to 8 p.m. The public is welcome. Tickets are just $10 in advance. We're selling them, and you can get them at the Besser Museum.
Okay.
The theme this year is Home for the Holidays.
Oh, perfect.
It really has been a huge community project. We have had so many gracious and generous volunteers who have come in. Dylan Medina has spent a lot of time along with her mom, Marilyn Tom, and then Diane Sharp brings in a huge Christmas village and has set it up along the whole front corridor of the museum.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be really grand this year. We really like to celebrate the past, the present, and the future because that's our mission. So to celebrate the past and the present, we set up our Trees of Nations. We celebrate and share the traditions of the Germans, Finland, Poland, Russia, but we also go back and start talking about the pagan times and some of our December traditions. Why do we celebrate in December? Talking about the winter solstice and all sorts of things like that. To celebrate the present and the future, we invite a group of community members to come in from different organizations and decorate a tree to really showcase who they are, and then we use that to share with the community these organizations, some of which people don't know exist.
Perfect.
And so the museum is really built on community involvement, and we like to give back by sharing these organizations.
Okay. Michael, you're here to talk about something very exciting.
It is, and it dovetails very nicely with what Kat was talking about, because on the rollout of the Season of Light, you may have heard rumors around town a little bit about a planetarium upgrade that we
Yes.
are working on. This is something that's been in the works for really a couple of years, and we have a wonderful and very forward-thinking, visionary board of trustees that realizes that the vision that Jesse Besser had 50 years ago for putting a planetarium in that building, and Alpena's gift really back to Jesse Besser of the machinery for that really sets the stage for the next, really the next incarnation of what the museum's going to be about. That old Spitz projector is still working and
Amazing.
still bringing about awe and wonder for all sorts of people, especially school groups, but it is now a little bit limited. And I think what we want to do in the future is to make that not just a planetarium, but a multidisciplinary cultural hub of learning and wonder that will really be a centerpiece for all of northern Michigan. We won't just have the ability to do astronomy, but a whole host of different disciplines of the humanities, of geology, and biomedical imaging. So it's really going to be very exciting what we're able to do with this technology. But on that night, the 21st of November, when we roll out the Season of Light, we are going to have one of the vendors that we're talking to who, it's a very small group of vendors that do this kind of work in planetariums, and they will be there to do a demonstration. So with your $10 ticket, for that, you can also come and see a demonstration that will really wow you. If you haven't seen what's capable in a modern planetarium, to be that immersed in something, 360 degrees all around you, it's really something.
So Kat, is it still too late for people in the community, or is there still time for people to be able to get a tree so they can decorate?
Not at all. We are still looking for a few community organizations to come in and decorate trees, so they can call the museum at 356-2202 if they're interested.
Okay. And then are there any other activities going to be taking place during the Season of Light?
We are getting ready to launch our new Besser exhibit, and so
Okay.
that will be up and open that night as well on November 21st. And the whole evening is about good food, big laughs, and memories of why Christmas is such a heartwarming season.
Perfect. All right. Back to the planetarium. So this sounds so warm and fuzzy. What can the community do to help make sure that we get the system that we want that will do all of those wonderful things that you were talking about?
Well, I think first of all, Nancy, is getting word out.
Okay.
You can't believe how many people will come into the museum and say, you know, gosh, I haven't been here in decades. You know, I can point to the seat in the planetarium where I sat when I was a first grader and had this great experience of awe and wonder and being a part of something that was so much bigger than myself. So one is just getting word out, but two, just as 50 years ago, the very forward-thinking folks of Alpena thought it very important to invest in a planetarium that is still serving us 50 years later. How many countless children and adults have gone through there and learned so much, and now it's our turn. Now we get to open up our pocketbooks and our checkbooks and really make a difference for the next generation. It really is our turn now. So those are the two big things. One is just getting word out, and two, really supporting this financially in a way that is representative of the legacy that Jesse Besser has given to us.
So at the end of the year, if you're looking for something good for a nice tax write-off, Besser Museum for Northeast Michigan is a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Okay, and back to Season of Light. So November 21st, and once again, what time does it start?
6 p.m.
Starts at 6 p.m. Food, laughter, fun, Christmas past, present, and future. Lots of good exhibits.
Yes.
Meet your neighbors and friends. And if people are looking for a place to have their Christmas party, you know, what a good place to bring your group and come on in and you know, go through the museum and see everything, and then have your party after. Okay, anything else we want to add?
That's all today, Nancy.
Well, I want to thank you both very much, and look forward to talking to you again next month, and maybe there'll be some more things new and exciting for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Please stay tuned for Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Lee Fitzpatrick, early college coordinator at Alpena Public Schools.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome, Lee. ACC and Alpena Public have had a great relationship for decades. But the Early College Initiative is somewhat new. Could you describe to the viewers what it is and really the opportunities it's presented?
Sure. And I have to thank you, Don, because there is no early college without an awesome post-secondary partner, and ACC has been wonderful in filling in that role. So,
thank you.
Early college is an initiative that's strongly supported in a bipartisan manner from Lansing, which is awesome and unusual that
Yes.
both sides of the aisle are strongly in support of this. It's a movement that seeks to take more kids further along in their education and training so that they're ready for the workforce, to fill real workforce needs that we have in our community locally and in our state.
And you're absolutely right about the bipartisanship, and right up to the governor, they're very solid support and encouragement and funding for the initiative. So tell us how it works at APS and the kind of maybe the nuts and bolts of our relationship and the kids that are affected in a positive way.
Sure. So functionally the process, what happens is as a 10th grader you would find out about early college. Of course we welcome people to get started in the thought process earlier, but a 10th grader would, parents will come to a meeting we hold in February each year, and we try and educate people about what the process looks like, and then they have the decision to apply. And application is not an easy process, and we don't intend it to be, because we want people that are going to work towards bettering themselves. And so there is an application that they'll do. They need to get references from their teachers, and we have them take the Compass test, which of course you use at ACC for admissions. And so we need to have kids that are ready for admission to ACC, and that's all part of the process. What it looks like from there, once a student is accepted, they start out as a junior. We kind of ramp them into the college-going process. We ease them in. Their first semester as a junior, they take a class together at our high school, but with your instructor, college instructor, and college class.
Yes.
And we get them used to the rigors of college work, and then we start to, second semester, get them used to campus life and what that looks like for their classes. Going into their senior year, most of the kids are somewhere between a half-time and a full-time college student, and they stay for an additional year. And do college classes exclusively, but the state of Michigan provides us with funding so we can pay for that. So students have the opportunity to go all the way up through an associate's degree or a professional certificate, and at no cost to their family, which is an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, that's huge, and it's really exploding around the state. So a student starts as a junior. As a senior, they're over at ACC a fair amount, and then can they graduate with their class?
Well, what they do socially, and it's a concern that a lot of people have, what does it look like for my high school experience? And that's something that we know is important to families, and we recognize it. They will go to the graduation ceremony and walk across the stage, just like their friends will. They don't receive a diploma until the following year when they've completed the program. And so in terms of prom and all the other social things that are really important to our kids, they get to take part in all of that. And they'll get two graduations, because they'll get their high school graduation, and then we'll have a ceremony at the end of that 13th year with ACC, and those that are getting associates or other certificates, and in addition to those that earn their early college certificate, we will have a graduation for them to celebrate the achievements that they've made.
Yes, well, that's great. And for young people and their parents who for young people who plan to stay in Alpena for a year after graduation, this is a phenomenal deal.
It's an incredible opportunity. 7 out of every 10 of our kids become your kids.
Yes, we know that.
So,
we're grateful.
That relationship is a good one, and it's worked in our community. But what we know is many of our kids sometimes become overwhelmed and fail at the community college level, or when they move out of our community into the four-year college level. And so we want part of the program benefit is to guide them and get used to the college going process and what it looks like socially and academically. And this gives them opportunity to save a good chunk of money that they would would spend on their education, and also prepare themselves academically, socially for the rigors of college life and professional training.
Wonderful. And the first year, we're in the second year of the program, the relationship with you
Yes.
folks, and we had, what, 35 students the first year and 42 or 3 in the second?
35 signed up that are now our seniors.
Yes.
43 in this incoming junior class, the present junior class, and you know, it's been a wonderful thing for them. By and large, they are succeeding tremendously, and they're getting a great experience at ACC. They're getting high academic rigor, and they're getting the opportunity to prove to themselves, to their families, that they are college material, whether they may have believed that or not before.
Well, Lee, you raise a really interesting point. You know, I walk the halls as you do every day, and I can't tell the difference between an early college student and a non-early college student. They all behave well, and they seem to be rising to the occasion of a college setting. So I think there's no problems on our end with it.
I'm really proud of our kids and the work that they've done, and we are very lucky that we have a partner that's so close to us geographically, and for our community. There's often the idea that there aren't jobs in Alpena. Mm-hmm. There are jobs that are waiting here for people, but they have to acquire the skills that those jobs need. The low-skill jobs are not in existence anymore. As you know, your
Yes.
role in the past and currently has been to prepare folks for the workforce. And so for families that are looking at an array of careers, it can be very technical things like welding, can be very academic things like to be in physics. There are wonderful programs at ACC that meet the full spectrum of very hands-on learning onto extremely academic learning, and we encourage our kids to enter all those types of areas and be prepared for the future workforce to build Alpena. This is our community, and we want it to thrive and succeed, and this is what needs to happen for us.
Well, Lee, we appreciate your efforts and what you're doing on behalf of students and Alpena Public Schools and Alpena Community College and the community of Alpena. And we thank you for that. Thank you for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you next week.
Thanks very much.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.